clock. Is Sam Howell in consideration?
We can be eliminated.
Yeah, if the Packers beat the Vikings, then you guys are eliminated.
Well, we'll see.
Just wow. Okay, Ron Rivera, on his presser yesterday, he went and he commented about that. I know I made a little bit of a gaffe. Gaff yesterday. Yeah, I never read that word. But to be honest with you, I never thought that we would lose. I was anticipating winning, and I was anticipating our game getting flexed to 8:30. Wow. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's like 2-5. There's no excuse for me for that one. It's like, as a coach, you have to know what's going on presently, what went on formerly, and what might go on in the future. Like, as a coach, you have to know all of this. You're not a player that's on the field that only needs to be focused on the here and now. You got to know about what happened, what's happening, and what might happen. And the fact that Ron Rivera had no idea his team could be eliminated in a loss is mind-blowing. It makes me wonder, what else might he have overlooked, or what else might he have not seen at all? Dave Hellman, you've been in these interview rooms asking those questions. I see the response on your face. What's your response verbally?
Had I been there, that is a moment where you and the other beat writers sort of look at each other like, did he just say that? Is that? We need to follow up and make sure he didn't say it wrong, right? Which is ultimately what happened, because the Washington media was doing their jobs. Look, that's embarrassing on a degree that I don't think you see very often in the NFL, which I want to be respectful. Ron Rivera, he's a longtime coach. He was on the 85 Bears. Like, he's forgotten more football than I'll ever know. But that is such an unacceptable blunder. And like, I hate the cliche that football coaches they're so focused on winning and the game plan that they don't know any. Are you kidding me? Do you understand the depth of detail of coaching at this level? These guys get a report of everything, every tweet that the beat writers put out that day before. They've got a report for that. They've got a report of what the practice field conditions look like for the next day, because they already know what the day they're going to practice. They've got advanced scouts working on games 2-3 weeks ahead of time. They got people going to the city for the road trip to say, hey, the hotel beds are kind of firm. We might want to put the team on a different floor. Like, the amount of detail that NFL coaches process every single week would blow your mind. So for Ron Rivera to not know that this was possible because he thought they would win, there's no excuse for it. If I signed his paychecks, I would be so pissed off. Like that, I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, I'm still trying to process it.
We know who signs.
That is fair. That is a very valid point.
Oh, I was with a little bit of it until the end. All right, I'm going to be nice to Ron Rivera. I don't think Ron Rivera is incompetent.
No, I would never say that.
He doesn't strike me as someone who...
I don't think so either. This is just a crazy oversight.
I'm not saying that you're saying that. I can't freak out too much about him going into this game, focusing on this game, and expecting to win this game. This thing that he was asked about is completely out of the Commanders' control. Can't help if that team wins or loses and knocks them out. They got to win this game. That's what's important to them right now in this moment. So while I hear about the details, and I'm not absolving him, he should have known, and it's very cringy to listen to, for sure. Ron Rivera is not somebody who's just, forgetting what's going on here. He's focusing on winning this game. The question I have for Ron Rivera is, and perhaps I was way too graceful when they decided to make this move last week, because I've been pretty consistent with the Wentz should not be playing football thing for a while. Why you put this in the hands of Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz was 16 of 28, 57% passer rating, career low passer rating, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, 31.4 passer rating. That's what Carson Wentz did. And we could have seen this coming because last year, yes, damn. That's an appropriate response. Last year, in the loss to the Jags,
must-win game,
he was 17 of 29. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So this is what Carson Wentz does in big moments. So my question isn't so much why didn't Ron Rivera know that if they lost this game, they could potentially be eliminated. It's why you put this game that you had to win in the hands of Carson Wentz.
And that's fair. I don't want to hog the segment, but clearly I feel passionately about this. But if that's the case, if Ron Rivera didn't know, Carson Wentz threw 2 picks in the first half, 3 for the day.
Might have pulled him.
The Browns were not ahead by multiple possessions until the end of the third quarter.
I'm actually surprised they didn't pull him.
Because he didn't think it mattered. He didn't think it mattered. He's like, oh, we'll let him finish the game and we can go back to Heineke next week. Except there's not a next week now.
That, to me, Joy, is why I was so frustrated by this. Shady, I want to hear your comments. As a player, if your coach went to the post-game presser after the game and was like, wait, we can be eliminated, what would your sentiments have been?
Well, he seems like the old-fashioned coach, right? Just knowing how he is, hard-working guy, you know. We're focused on this game right here, this week. And to Joy's point, I give him a pass. I truly do. Now, I get on both sides. I'm only speaking on his side. So him being like an older coach, right, when coaches always say, you know, we're not worrying about the future. We're worrying about this game right here. We're not worried about next week. I think he really meant that. Like, how can I worry about other team helping us out by winning a game or losing a game, whatever it may be, to keep us, eligible for the playoffs when we got to win our game right here today? So I truly believe that he thinks that, we got to win this game this week right now.
But, Shady, to me, that's so short-sighted, right? Because you have a plan.
Okay.
On every running play, you had a plan. Power, you got a plan. Zone, you got a plan.
Okay.
Inside zone, you got a plan. But you also have a counter. Shady knows I'm going to run power. But if it's stopped on the front side, I have a counter.
Okay.
So, Ron Rivera, sure, you should know or believe that you're going to win. But you should also know, in the event I don't win, what might happen as well?
What's he supposed to do? Send somebody to the other game to make sure that they lose?
And then one thing that Dave talked about, like these coaches, he's right. They have people on their staff to do different things.
Yep.
Right? So I feel like he probably had somebody to handle that for him, but he's locked in on this game. I can really see that.
I don't know, though. If he had the proper delegator, he would know. Joy, you ask a great question. What's he supposed to do? I'm with Dave. When I'm watching that game, and I was like, okay, Carson Wentz is struggling. First three possessions, interception, turnover on downs, interception. I love me some Carson Wentz. Know him personally. I was like, yo, pull him. Save yourself. Like, pull him. Like, you need to win this game. Yeah. Get him out of there. There is no, let's get his legs back under him because next week.
He still is close, though.
I'm getting him out of there. But if I believe, I'm with Dave in believing that in the event Ron Rivera did not know they could be eliminated, what's this game matter? Get Carson's legs back under him, and then next week, that's the must-win game.
It's hard. I don't know that, but
I don't know either.
That's where my mind goes.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that Ron is coaching this game thinking that it's okay for them to lose.
Coaching long-term, though. Think about what the Jets did with Mike White. They're coaching long-term. Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh said that. Like, hey, we're thinking long-term. I don't think he's coaching it to lose, but I think he's playing chess. Like, let's play for the long term.
This guy got over 50-something games, something like that. Like, he's as a head coach, like, he's not no just guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't put that on him.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know. Maybe I've got a soft spot for Ron, but I can't put this all on him. And again, I'm more concerned about the choice to put Carson Wentz in this situation than I am
because he was trying to win.
Postseason.
See, he put Carson
because Taylor Heineke was struggling. Like,
he was trying to win.
We all like Taylor Heineke. Yeah. Not all of us, but I like him. I like Taylor Heineke. And he was struggling.
Don't know. I think if he knew, he would have pulled him. That's where I'm. Like,
it just looked crazy
for me to imagine.
Yes.
Okay, but then also not again. I guess I am going to give him more passes. Doesn't it have a whole staff of people? Like, nobody felt the need to let him know this?
That's why I blame him, because you delegate. The coaches, the greatest coaches are incredible delegators, but you got to hire the people and you got to delegate properly. So you're telling me you ain't have nobody on the roster who fed this information back to you? Like, we've talked about different Cowboys personnel before off the record, and Dave's been like, oh, yeah, that guy, he didn't do anything but tell Jason Garrett, who was out the night before. Like, you got to delegate.
There's a person for every job imaginable on a football staff.
And he ain't have that guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to move, because what knocked the Commanders out of playoff contention was a Seahawks win and a Packers win. Packers, with their win, they are still in the playoff picture. Now all they got to do, beat the Detroit Lions, and they will be in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers will be there as well. They blew out the Minnesota Vikings. It was ugly, and I mean ugly. Justin Jefferson only had 2 catches. Jair Alexander, he was balling. Green Bay now won 4 straight games. Jefferson had 1 catch on 2 targets. All bad. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers' message for the critics, quote, "Now what are they gonna say?" Question mark, close quote. Joy, you gave us a chuckle. Give us your opinion. What have the Packers proved?
Just love that they're always watching. You can't say you're not watching. You're watching.
Oh, they pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it. Look, there's two options with the Packers. Option one, they win next week, they beat the Lions, and they could very potentially be a team of destiny.